Good afternoon, traders. This is a live trade recap. I took 3 trades this morning right at the market open. Unfortunately, all 3 trades stopped me out, yet I still feel good about my trading today, and I can just turn the platform off and go on about my day, knowing that I stuck to my plan 100%. I did not break one single rule. Every single entry I took was a valid entry. It was executed perfectly. There's nothing else that I could have done to improve my chances of coming away with either a green day or a break-even day. I did everything in my power, everything within my plan. So that's what makes me feel good, and I know that that's what's going to keep me profitable in the long run. So let's take a look first at the screener. I'll show you how I pick my stocks, and I believe the stock that I traded is probably still at or near the number 1 volume spot. So even on the screener, it looked very promising. It had all of the screener criteria that I needed. So I used my mid-cap screener. I organized the list by volume, and here it is right here, BlackBerry. It's the number 2 stock right now being traded. It was green at the open, otherwise I wouldn't be trading it. And it was well over 2% on the percent change when I took my entry. So that's all the screener criteria met for me to take a trade. And let's take a look at the video right now, and you can see what happened. So there's BlackBerry. Let me see if I pull it up where the it's showing on the daily chart. So here it is on the daily chart. You can see it's trading above the 200 MA. There was some other stock, ASO, right at the open that had enough volume to go on my chart page. It had this little tiny 200 MA line. So really next to no history. And then it dropped off in volume. So that was a stock that I did not really follow throughout the rest of the day. And CNK, I believe, was below the 200 MA on the daily chart. There it is. There's the 200 MA. So that one is also one that I didn't look to take a trade. It's still on the chart page, but you can see I didn't put a yellow line on it because I'm not looking for any entries. There's no way to delete these charts. You just have to replace them, or you can reduce the size of the number of charts that are on your page, and then the ticker symbol will disappear. So that's why I just leave them there. And let's see what happened. Yeah, and if you look at that CNK, it did give a nice 2-hour trade after this little reversal. But I mean, first of all, this setup doesn't really meet my criteria. I guess what I would have to wait for is the break of this level here. But again, it doesn't meet my criteria on the daily chart, so it doesn't matter what it did. It doesn't matter that it made this nice ramp. It does not meet my plan to take a trade. If I would have taken it, whether it would have been red or green, it would have been breaking my plan, and that's how you end up in trader rehab. So we don't want to be there. We want to just follow our plan and let the plan do its thing over time. That doesn't mean every single day is going to be a green day, and today is a great example of that. So here you can see BlackBerry breaking out above its previous session high. This high was established in the pre-market. Once that happens, then I wait for the first pullback, and I enter as soon as a 1-minute candle makes a new high. So right now I'm reducing the number of charts that I'm looking at because this is the only thing I'm interested in trading. I have the SPY, the NASDAQ, and my swing trade up just for monitoring. So now I'm just waiting for that pullback. So there's the pullback on this candle. If this candle would have broke out over the previous red, I would have had to enter there. And that didn't happen. What happened is the candle following this one broke out. So let's see, that the high of this candle here is 1157. So I need to see 1158 or more. So watch the price bubble. There's 1158. You can see I triggered my hotkeys instantly. So perfect execution. Move my stop loss. I moved it to the low of this red candle here since this is a bit of a consolidation. And now I'm just waiting, or actually I'm going to use my 2-hour calculator. And I'm going to type in my entry and my stop price, and that will spit out my 2-hour profit target without error. And then I can move my profit target in place, and then I don't have to do anything. I just let the trade play out at that point. So you can see it went up to 1166. It looks kind of promising, but let's see what happens. That ends up being as high as it went, and I'll show you me getting stopped out in real time. Let's see, I believe it happens right here. There we go. So stopped out there. So when that happens, my plan says that I have to look for the next entry because this is still a valid ABCD setup. The point A of it is way down low. You'll see that in a little bit here. I'll show you that. So it's still a valid setup. I just need to wait for another 1-minute candle to make a new high. So it gives us quite a bit more of a pullback here. And really, the further it pulls back, as long as it doesn't break point A of the ABCD pattern, which is right here, I'm marking it out right now, the chances of it bouncing back up and giving us a 2-hour trade go up. So, these are higher probability entries that I'm taking after that first trade. In fact, I could tell you, this is the thing I hate about YouTube day traders, or at least, these gurus and furus out there that constantly say, oh, this is a high probability setup. They have no idea, 99% of the time, they have no idea what they're talking about because they haven't collected any data. They never say what high probability means. I can tell you that this is the highest probability setup that I've ever found as a trader. There might be more, but this is the best one that I've found. And I can tell you for fact, based on data, I have almost over 75 trades now. I can tell you the probability of my first trade working out is about 34%, 35% maybe. The probability of my second trade working out with this setup is about 55%, and the probability of my third trade working out right now with this setup is about 50%. So that's a high probability setup. You hear so many traders say, oh, this works 90% of the time. No, I don't think so. So just a little FYI out there. If you don't know, if you haven't collected the data behind how often the setup you're trading works, then you don't know if it's high probability or not, or you don't know what high probability means. So let's take a look at the next entry. I'm waiting for a 1-minute candle to make a new high. Okay, so here's what happened on this one. Yeah, actually, while I was talking there, this 1-minute candle that popped up after this one, let's see, it's only got 8 seconds now. So I was waiting for it to break this high, which is 1138 would be the entry price. That doesn't happen. And then as soon as this next candle opens up, it breaks over the high of this one. And my thought was, well, since it's selling off, I want to see it at least get back up to that high 1134. I probably could have waited. This isn't in my plan, so this is just me thinking on the fly. My plan just says as soon as a 1-minute candle makes a new high, I get in. But I'm trying to add to the probability of the trade working out. And one way of doing that is if you're seeing it sell off, then obviously if it just continues downward, it doesn't have a very good chance of hitting your 2-hour profit target. But this one went all the way down here, then started to head back up and broke over that previous candle again. So that makes it an even higher probability of the trade hitting my 2-hour profit target, but it still didn't. It hit my stop loss, and that's going to happen. And this is the other thing you have to convince yourself, you have to tell yourself, remind yourself that even these high probability setups fail, and they fail quite often. Otherwise, if you think there's no way this is going to fail, this has to work, it has to go up, then what's going to happen when you get stopped out, you're going to be so frustrated that you're just going to keep trading it until you finally win a trade. And by that time, you may have taken 5 or 6 trades and you've lost, 5 of them, and then the 6th one wins, but it just makes back a tiny fraction of what you lost on the 5 trades. So that's why I stop after 3 trades. If I lose all 3 trades, that's it, I'm done. And I know that I've lost minus 3R at that point, and that's fine with me, and I can move on with the rest of my day. So let's just watch and see what happens here. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. So even this is the highest probability trade that I have. My second trade has a 55% chance of working out. So that's pretty good odds. That still means there's a 45% chance that it's not going to work out. So that's why my stop loss is there. And you can see it got hit and I got stopped out. So again, not a surprise when you know that you still have a 45% chance of getting stopped out. So I wasn't shocked by that at all. And my emotions aren't, raging or going extremely wild after getting stopped out by that, because I only expected it to work out 55% of the time. So the beauty of tracking your trades and keeping your data and understanding a little bit about probability and statistics. So let's take a look at the next trade. My plan says that I can take one more trade, and this is obviously an attempt to get break even on the day. And right now, my third trade works out 50% of the time. So there's a 50-50 chance here that I could end up break even. There was a time where my third trade worked out over 60% of the time. So let's see what happens here. So there I entered as soon as that 1 minute candle made a new high. Again, I got a perfect execution. Every single one of these trades was a perfect execution. There was no slippage. whatsoever. And then, I move my stop up to the low of the previous candle and use the 2-hour calculator. It's a system. You just keep on working the system, and then over time, the probabilities will work in your favor. I only need a 33% win rate to break even with this system. And right now I'm right around 40% with it. And that's profitable. After 10 trades, if you have a 40% win rate, when you trade all or nothing 2R, you're going to be up 2R. After 100 trades, you'll be up 20R. After 1,000 trades, you'll be up 200R if you can maintain that 40% win rate. So that's what we're going for, something like that, at least to be profitable. That's the main thing. So now I'm in the third trade, and here's point A. So I did not break my rules, which says if the price comes down to point A. Obviously, actually, I was kind of hoping it would after that first trade failed. I was hoping that the price action would just come down, break that point A, and then I'd be done for the day, and I'd just be down 1R. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. And it would have been ideal. Here's the ideal scenario: is that second trade works out, goes to 2R, and then I end up plus 1R in the day. That'd be the best case scenario. But in hindsight, since all 3 trades failed, then obviously if the first one just went down below point A, put me out of my misery for the day, that would have been better. But I still have to take that third trade because I know I have a high probability of it working out, a 50% chance of it working out, which even though a 50-50 chance doesn't sound like high probability, when your break-even rate is 33%, that is high probability because I only need my win rate of each individual trade to be higher than that 33% win rate to be to be profitable. So here we are in the last trade. Let's fast forward. This one took a little time. I went over to my swing trade, adjusted the stop. Looks like I was about to get stopped out here, but then it bounces and then it goes higher, and it's looking pretty good, looking pretty promising. Again, just checking out my swing trade there. And then it comes back down. And stops me out for the third time, and that's it. That's when I shut down the platform. So that's it. The great thing is that I followed my plan. I stuck to it. I took my stop losses, honored my profit target. Yes, I'm down 3R on the day. That's not that big of a deal. One of my winners is worth 2R, so I can get that back pretty quickly. Overall, right now on the plan, I am still up 10R at this point, and that's with all of the error trades and mistakes and stuff that I've made along the way. And before I've kind of perfected this plan, if I remove those trades, I'm up somewhere around 20R on this thing already after about 75 trades. I'm going to go over all those details at the end of the week, and I'll release that video on Sunday, how this plan is working out so far. Right now, like I said, we're over 75 trades, so we're getting there. We're almost done testing it, and things are working out well so far. So hopefully this video was a reminder. You don't have to come away green every day. You just need to stick to your plan. One of the things I keep telling myself that I've been repeating all week, especially when you start getting into a green streak, or you start realizing, hey, what I'm doing is profitable, it works. If you remind yourself of that too often, you can start setting yourself up for failure, because you're going to think that the chances of the trade working out are pretty high, and when it doesn't work out, you're going to be so frustrated and feel so much emotion that you might break your plan. So instead of doing that, track your data, know exactly what the likelihood of each trade that you take is to win, so that you're not shocked when it fails, and you just take that stop loss and you remind yourself that, hey, I only take 3 trades per day, or whatever your limit is, and I stop after that because I know that these trades can fail. So that's what I did today, and I live to trade another day. Simple as that. So let me know if you have any questions about this trade or any others. And as always, go into every single trade with a plan. Stick to that plan no matter what. Remind yourself that that's what you're excited to do every single day as a trader. You're not excited to take trades. You're not excited to make money. You're excited to follow your plan. If you do that, if you have that mentality and that attitude, in time, you will make money. So always take your stop losses, honor your profit targets, and in the long run, you should be green. Take care.